Every semester, thousands of parents get the call. Conference Day. A semi-annual meeting of the minds, teacher and parent come together to form a game plan for student success. And like any good game plan, you might need a little coaching. Okay, now you don't have long before you have to go back to work, so you gotta get the most out of this meeting. Are you ready?
I think I am.
Okay, now the teacher knows your kid and he knows him well, but he doesn't know what he's like at home. You have to give him a complete picture of your son. Tell him about youth group on Wednesday nights. Tell him about any changes that are going on at home. And don't forget to tell him about study habits, how often and how long. You got it?
I think I got it.
All right, and let's put it here in the middle. 1, 2, 3, conference!
Hi, Mrs. Brown. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Please come in and have a seat. This shouldn't take too long. You have a wonderful son, and he's extremely well behaved.
I usually see him doing his homework and everything at night, but it's very difficult to tell what's happening in school, what he's learning.
I think together we can help him improve his study habits.
Yes, his dad and I, we have time set aside at nights for him to do his homework and probably go over a few things with him. But he prefers to talk more about what's happening in class, what's going on outside of the class.
But does he ever talk about school? Can you tell me what he has to say?
If I ask, he will answer, but that's just about it.
Okay, so far so good. You got him right where you want him. He's starting to get a complete picture of your son, and he's ready to talk academics, so now's when you hit him with your questions.
What is he learning in class? What are you covering?
Well, for instance, in math, this last week we've been working on graphing, coordinates, and number lines.
Oh, wow. His dad and I, we aren't that great in math, so I'm sure we're going to come to a point very soon when we won't be able to help him much.
You can help out in more ways than you think. For instance, how much time are you devoting to homework each evening?
Okay, now don't panic. He's asking questions, but we knew this would happen. Did you come prepared like I asked? Did you make a mental checklist of how he is at home?
Oh, yes.
Where is it? Nice work. Now just go over it with Mr. Moore and keep that pen and paper handy.
We do homework every night. Usually he gets started at 7, completed by 8. Then I read to him at night. Right now we're reading Spiderwick Chronicles.
I think that's great. At his age, he could probably be reading to you.
So what's happening for the rest of the semester? What will he be learning?
Well, in math, we'll continue our work with graphing, and then we'll begin to cover multiplying and dividing fractions.
Isn't that more too advanced for a 5th grader?
I like where your head's at, Carol. You're asking him questions. Don't be afraid to get in there and really let him know what the score is. You okay? Want some Gatorade?
No. Are you going to keep interrupting my conference?
I do understand your concern, and as you've probably heard, the new academic standards in Tennessee are pretty tough. We're not teaching them anything that they're not capable of learning. As a matter of fact, we're all prepared to help him out. In fact, let me show you where Jonathan stands academically right now. Now right here are Jonathan's scores that predict how he might perform on the state achievement test. We call this Think Link. These are given 3 times a year to predict how your son will actually do. See this number right here? This is the predictor for reading and English language arts. And it indicates he's a good speller, he understands sentence structure and grammar. Now on the math part here, it shows he's having a little trouble in order of operations and geometry. And these are some areas that you can help him with.
Honestly, Mr. Moore, I am not so sure I remember all of this, or most of these things. I won't remember it. How can I help them?
No, don't be so down on yourself. You're the boy's mother. If anybody can help him, it's you. Now just listen to what Mr. Moore tells you, okay? Let him guide this next play. I'll see you at the final whistle.
What can I do to help?
It's pretty simple. Ask Jonathan what he's learned in math class today, and don't just have him tell you what he did, have him explain it to you. Even if you don't understand it, he will, and this type of review will really be helpful for him. You know what, on my end, I'm going to start calling on him more. that'll help me by remembering our conversation to do that, and then also finding more and more time for one-on-one with your son. You know, he does read extremely well. That's an area where you can encourage him. You know, instead of reading to him every night, have him read to you. You told me I think you're reading the Spiderweb Chronicles. I think that's a great choice that'll keep him interested and entertained. And it's good to stick with something that's a series. That way he'll want to continue on and on to be able to find out how the story ends. Now tell me, what about the iPod situation? What about a cell phone?
Boy, does he want one.
If he does get one or both, I recommend that you turn those off as well as the television during study time or reading time. It's best just to keep distractions away to help him to focus. And do it the same way every single night. You can establish a routine that way. Do the same with chores. Kids like a routine and can thrive in it. And more than anything, just keep interacting with him. Make sure you and your husband talk to him often and ask him lots of questions.
So thankful that you take the time to meet with me and discuss Jonathan today.
You know, thank you for coming for the conference. I know it's not easy to get away from work. You should know that Jonathan is doing well academically, besides that little trouble in math, and we're working together on that. I've written down some thoughts for our action plan, and I'd like for you to take them with you if you'd like.
Thank you. I'll put it together with the rest of my notes.
It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Please feel free to stop by or call anytime.
And don't hesitate to call me.
Nice job, nice job. You looked good up there, Carol. Real good. You had a good conversation. You all came away with something to do, and you got a much better understanding of the whole Jonathan. Now, if you'll excuse me, Mrs. Miller is on her way to JT Moore. I better hustle.